Hello everyone, we're now going to start page 3, or style page 3 of our interactive pages to add to our 6x6 mini album in an hour. So for page 3 you're going to need 2 sheets of 12x12 cardstock. You're probably only actually going to need 1.5, but if you've got yourself 2 sheets, you've got some left for your photo mats. And then you're going to need 6 sheets of the 6x6 pattern papers. So I picked my pattern papers here already, okay, and that's out of the same paper collection that we're using here today. So I'm using the same cardstock, same paper collection for each page. That way all your colours tie in and you've not got to worry about things matching up. So we're going to start off with the first piece of cardstock, and we need to cut this 11.5 inches by 12. So I'm just going to trim this edge off. So that's 11.5 inches by 12. So just line that all up ready. And then on the 11.5 inch side, we're going to score that at 6 inches. So use the flat side of your scoring tool and score that at 6 inches. And you know me, I like to turn over and score both sides, so I'm breaking the fibres down in the paper and helping it not to crack. You're then going to do a quarter turn, so along the 12-inch side you're then going to score at 2 inches and 8 inches. Flip that over and do the same again on the other side, just to break these fibres down. I'm using Coordinations cardstock here today, and the colour I'm using is Pesto, if anybody would like to know. So that's what you have now looking at you. Okay. So what we're going to now do, I need to cut a piece of this out of the way. So we've got that piece there that's going to be 6, and that's 6, and we're going to cut this rectangular piece up here out of the way because we don't need that. So I'm just going to get a pair of scissors. You can use your paper trimmer if you feel more comfortable using your paper trimmer. So just a pair of scissors is quite ample just to cut this square off. Take your time, make sure. It's hard to see my score lines in this light. It's probably easier to fold it and then I can see where I'm cutting. Right, okay, so that's, we put that to one side. Might come in handy for something else, so don't worry and start throwing stuff away. And then we're going to start burnishing these score lines. So I'm going to bring the bottom one up first of all. I'll get a nice burnish on these 4 score lines. As I said, the paper I'm using here today is Coordinations, and it is textured on one side. So if you have your paper textured on one side, this is where you could choose which way you want facing. We are going to be putting pattern paper mats on, so it's not too desperate that you make that choice. So just taking my time here, get these score lines folded and burnished down, because the trouble is when you get to this stage where you've got 4 layers of cardstock, you really need to know that it's burnished down very well. So just take my time with that one. So this interactive page is going to have a flap that opens up and opens out with 2 pockets. So that's why I'm just making sure that this has got a nice good burnish on this score line here. Pressing that down quite hard. I'm going to turn it over and do the same on the other side as well. Okay, that's laying a bit flatter, which I'm more happy with. Okay, so that's the first bit we need to do. So I think then we can go ahead and start bringing this this tag up. Now another way, before when we did style page 2, we cut the mats and tuck them into the pockets. Another way you can do it is actually cut your mats, stick them down and then stick your pocket. So I thought I'd show you that way on this one, just to show you a contrast of different ways to stick them down. Okay, so just do a quick measurement here. So that's measuring 6. I did write my measurements down, but I'm just confirming. So this one I'm going to do at 5 3/4, and I'm going to do that at 4 1/2. So 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. I'm going to have my pattern papers going down this time. So 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. So bring my pattern paper in, and I need to do 5 3/4. Trim that off, and then 4 1/2. So this is then showing you a different way of attaching linings to your pocket. So I'm just rounding the top 2 off there, and then before I put my trimmer away, if we measure this one, this is going to be 5 1/4 by 4 1/2. So another piece of paper. So I said 5 1/4, didn't I? So I need to go 5 1/4 that way. So I'm just working which way my stripes are going. If you think you're going to get in a muddle with things like this, if you pick a pattern paper that's not generic, doesn't matter which way round the patterns go, then it makes life a lot easier for yourself. So that's something worth bearing in mind when you're doing projects like this, if you're not very confident with how sort of papers would lie. Okay, so I've just rounded the edges off there. I'm not going to ink the papers for this project because I'm having quite a fresh, clean look to this. So these are going to go on here, and then we're going to bring our pocket up and stick it down. Okay, so I'm just going to use a tape runner for quickness today to stick these down. You can use any adhesive you like. Wet adhesive, as you know, I do like my wet adhesive as well, or double-sided tape, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I'm sticking these so I've got a little bit of a gap behind, showing my cardstock, purely because I think it looks quite nice, and also when we're attaching it into our 6x6 mini album in an hour, as you know, you see the cardstock hinges and the spine, so it just follows the continuity through, and I'm using the same paper as well, so it just sort of follows that pattern through, which is quite nice. So I'm just going to lay this up here and just try and match it up with the top so it all looks nice. And it's laid out. Yes, happy with that. And then we can go ahead and start sticking that all down together. Okay, so I'm going to use the thin red tape here again for our pockets. So I'm using the red tape because it's a bit more sticky than the normal double-sided tape, and I've gone for a really thin one so I'm not taking away too much from putting photo mats in, because I'm trying to make these albums that you can just sort of cut down your 6x4 photographs and fit them in. So for non or new crafters, this is a nice project. It also works out quite nicely if you're giving these as gifts to people that don't craft, because obviously they'll have their photographs printed out as 6x4s, and they may not have the facilities to cut down photographs and make them the right measurements. So that's why these type of albums work quite good for anybody really. So stick that down there, and then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tiny little bit of wet glue in the middle, just a tiny little slither, just to make that sure that sticks where I want it to. Okay, so that's my wet glue. So that's my Calal all-purpose glue. I know a lot of you are always asking me what glue I'm using, so that's the glue that I use. For any of you that ask, I do get a lot of messages on Facebook and on YouTube asking what glue I use, so that's the one I prefer of choice. So you can take a note of it. You can get it online anywhere, or in your craft shops. And I'm just going to push that up there, and then get these ends down, and I'm just going to burnish that then with my bone folder. Get a nice good stick on those, and then we can go ahead and stick our pieces onto here. Now to stick the pieces onto here, I'm going to be a bit frugal again, and I'm going to use one sheet to do the mat at the top here and the strip at the bottom here. Okay, so the strip at the bottom here needs to be 5 3/4. So, and that will mean that will be 5 3/4 as well on that side. So I like to try and be a bit frugal with things like this because I can't see the point of wasting paper, quite frankly. Right, the top one needs to measure 3 3/4, and the bottom one needs to measure 1 3/4. 1 3/4 to make sure that's level where I want it. So then that can go on there, and that will go on there. So now I'm going to cut the same again for the inside, and then I've got to cut that side, but that side's going to be slightly shorter. We start off with the bigger measurement first. So 5 3/4. And it was by lost my train of thought now. That's put around the wrong way, but never mind. So 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I need to go. Let's go 3 3/4 this way, and then I've got to do 1 1/4. 1 3/4, sorry, for my bottom strip. I do apologise. 1 3/4. That's my bottom strip the same. But obviously this side is going to be shorter. See, that's nice to see, it just matches in beautifully. So this side measurement has to be 5 1/4. So let's just do 5 1/4. I think it might even have to come in a bit shorter looking at that, but we'll just try that. Cut that very well. Using the embossed paper here. Let's just see if that fits. Yes, that's it. So that's 5 3/4. 5 1/4. I do apologise. 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. And then this one is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. But that looks too long to me. I've done it at 6, that's why. So that needs to come down at 5 3/4. Right, and then we're going to add a magnet again to this page to keep the flat shut. So that's that. That's nicely onto there. So I'm going to round all the corners on this one, stick on the inside there. So they're all going to be rounded. I've lost a piece of cardstock, it's underneath here, and these are going to be rounded as well. And this one. Quite nice that these all match on. So if you noticed here, I put the 2 greens together as well to get the continuity going along. And I should probably put the greens down on the bottom that way on there. And these 2 pieces will go on here. Now the only thing I haven't done is put a mat on the back of there, which I will have to do. I need to cut another piece of paper out for that. That's going to fold over like that. So I need to put a magnet on under this side and a magnet onto here to hold that nice and flat. But we'll go ahead and get these stuck down first, and I have to find another piece of paper for that. And just check my folds again. So that will come over there, and then that magnet then will hold on to there. It'd be nicer if it had been under there. I don't think it's strong enough. We'll try it. Right, I'm just playing now, just thinking where I'm going to put my magnet. I think I should have put it underneath that other piece of cardstock, but I'm sure that's well stuck down now. Yes, it is, so it's going to have to go onto the other piece. That's not a problem though. So let's get these stuck down. So these are our two strips. I'm going to put the green on the bottom. As I say, you don't have to add magnets if you don't want to, but it just helps the pages lay flat if you're going to be adding a lots of photographs and things to them. So add these onto here now, the nice rounded edges. Okay, now we need to add a magnet to the back of one of these. Just looking at the way my patterns are coming on there. Yeah, that's nice enough on there. Which way does that go on that one? Yep, that's nice. We'll get these glued on. I need to put a magnet onto here. So first thing I'm going to do, put a bit of tape down there and see if we can get a magnet attached. I might put the glue actually a little bit further up. I'm just eyeballing where these magnets go. Okay, so put some tape onto here. Put a bit on my paper, rub that off. That's the beauty of these tape runners. As long as you rub things off when they're wet, they come straight off. So I hope this has given you the confidence to try some interactive pages if you haven't tried anything like that before at all. I haven't gone too mad with making them too interactive because I don't want to frighten people off. I just want to give them the confidence. So if we can go at this stage first, and then when you try some of my online workshops, I'll show you some more interactive pages that are a bit more advanced. Okay, so that's that one. So this page can go on the front here. And then I've got to go through my paper stock now and just find another sheet of paper. So I'm going to actually need another sheet of paper for this page. So I'll stick that on the outside there. Happy that's stuck in the right place. Right, so I need to find another piece of paper for this side here because I haven't got enough paper out. So let's find another piece that I can put here. See, when you've got the page laying, you've got lots of interactive things going on. I think I'm going to go for a plain piece down there. So I'm going to have a look and see what I've got available in my pad. The beauty about having the pads like this as well is all the colours coordinate and match, which is brilliant. So you haven't got to worry about does this go with that or not, or you know the paper's all matching. I think I'm going to go for the green, and I think I'm going to bring it in with that fluffy bit, that filigree bit on that corner. So let's just do a quick measurement of what we need for this. We need 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. So we need 5 3/4 this way. Just take your time when cutting your papers like this, so you know you can have the papers where you want them to be, because obviously your paper collections will all be different. So obviously I'm going at quite a pace here to show you how to do it, but as I say, take your time and match your papers up. So I'm going at it quite fast, but just to show you for computer purposes. We need to now get this other magnet onto here. So we'll take a magnet off the pile, if it will let me. Let it find its place, which it has, as you can see. It tends to go pinging everywhere, see? That's where it wants to be. And I want to try, if I can, like the others, and put some tape onto it. That's stuck, so when I bring it down to here and press, it then sticks to the paper. It's as simple as that. So I'm just going to put a bit of tape on that to hold it where I want it to be, so it doesn't move about. This is just a piece of double-sided tape. Nothing fancy. We're putting a photo mat over this, so you're not going to see it. So we can now glue our tape we'll put our tape runner down this last piece of the mat, and then we'll make a couple of photo mats to put inside our pockets. So I have the filigree bit showing outwards. You've got lots of interest then. Get that bowl stuck down and over where the magnet is, and you can't see it. When you close it to, that closes it down nicely. So that's another interactive page. What I'm going to do quickly is do some photo mats for the inside out of the other bit of cardstock that we had. I'll just pop this to one side. So these photo mats, they need to measure, I think I worked it out at 5.5. Yeah, we'll have them at 5.5. This one, I think we'll have 5.25. And this one, I think we'll have that one at 5. So 5.5. So if you get this piece of cardstock and you cut it down to 5.5. So the first one needs to be 5. And the other one was 5.25, wasn't it? So what we will do is we will check they will fit in. Now you've got half a sheet here left. Do not throw it away. You can keep that for another page. So we'll just check these fit nicely in there, which they do. So that gives nice big photo mats for inside here. That one is just a little bit tight at 5, so I'm going to take a little bit more off that. That's why I always check them before I start adding pattern paper. So I haven't really taken 1/4 inch off, it's a bit under 1/4 inch, but just confirm, depending on the thickness of the tape you're using as well, just confirm that it fits in nicely. So they fit in nicely there. So I'm going to round those off, so that gives nice big photo mats. As I said with Page Style 2, if you wanted to make tags to go in here rather than photo mats, you can quite easily. Your choice entirely. I'm just giving you the ideas to do the pages, and then it's nice that you can go ahead and add your own twists on these. Now I can leave those plain as photo mats as they are, or I can add some pattern paper. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add some pattern paper to one side. So we'll get some paper added to one side for those. So we need to get that cut down. So let's measure this first one again. So I need my pattern paper to measure 5 by 5.25. So cut this down to 5 by 5.25. First one, and then the other one needs to be 5.25 by 4.5. So 5.25 by 4.5. Round the edges off on those, and then they can be stuck down. As I say, your photo mats, you haven't got to add paper to them. Your choice entirely. I'm adding paper to one side but not the other. And as I say, the cardstock I'm using here today is textured one side and not the other. So I'm going to add my photo mat to the plain side. So just get that stuck down. A bit across the middle as well as we can. That's going to go on the plain side. So all the way around, the textured one side and the plain the other, and that just then fits inside there. And we'll do this other one the same. So as I say, this is Page Style 3. So if you're enjoying the way of adding some interactive pages to this mini album that you've all found so enjoyable. They're not too hard, these are quite nice. I've not gone too intense with these, so it's quite nice for beginners. That's Page Style number 3. And if you'd like to see Page Style number 4, if you click on the link now that's at the top of the video, that will take you straight through to page number 4. I will show you in a video right at the end how to attach all these pages to our book to complete our 6x6 mini album in an hour and making it with the interactive pages. So I'm Dawn from Dawn's Inspirations, so please check out the next page in the book. Bye bye for now.